What's up, y'all? This is Mr. Right Way on the Mr. Right on the Right Way podcast. This is episode, what is this, 26? I hope it's right. I hope it's 26. But tonight, we got some people coming back on the podcast tonight. We got the great drink. Somebody might go crazy, but no.
Man, you know what?
What, man? He'll cut himself off already, y'all. Cut himself off. But anyway, guys, we got people gonna be popping in and out tonight. So and somebody is really loud. Who got
I hear it now.
Yeah, I hear it now too. See, this is how we start the podcast out with somebody else hearing stuff. Let me see.
What is it? What y'all hear?
That's you, Votary. Yeah, Votary. Turn your computer down. He got his stuff all loud. Hey, you see how we first started out. But anyway, how everybody doing tonight? We got a full cast of characters. We got everybody.
Great.
Welcome back to Doctor. Welcome back for like after he's been. What you been doing, man? You've been like traveling the nation.
It's been 6 weeks. Yeah, man. It's like I ended up doing like a huge road trip. Drove like 7,265 miles in 1 month. In 1 month. So. Insane. I mean, but we went and saw everything, man, out to the Grand Canyon, Death Valley, Tahoe, Oregon coast, Washington, Salt Lake City, the whole thing. I mean, we drove all that and it was spectacular. Highly recommend.
That's good, man.
Sounds like a dream, man. I need to do that myself.
Yeah, man.
Sir.
Just a whole month traveling. Shit.
Oh, man. Death Valley, 121 degrees. Tahoe, 54.
Shit.
So I did that 7.5 hours. I mean, like literally dropped like 70 degrees in 7.5 hours. It was nuts.
Oh, man. Like, cool. And Mega, what's going on, man?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. A little bit of a sad boy because, Armored Core 6 came out today and
He's
lucky
boy.
This mother Alex already got his, and unfortunately, mine's don't come until tomorrow. And especially it's like I got like 3 videos. I got 3 videos planned out for you guys, man. But it's all revolving around that one game. So after I get tomorrow, finish the last of my content, release that video out for you guys. Other than that, I'm doing good, baby. Still Friday night. We good. Hopefully, hopefully, I got curfew tonight, but hopefully I can sleep past a little bit after that. So other than that,
so we good. Hey, if y'all just tuned in, Mega got a curfew, y'all. So we'll be on here long. I don't know. We like talking for a long time, but his fiance said you got to 12 o'clock to get your butt in the room. So he got T-minus 2 hours. And then he got to go. He can't
2 hours 30 minutes.
He can't stay and play tonight.
It will take about more 30 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah. And we got a video game votary. He's having a little computer issues, but we'll see can we get him in, man. What's up, dude? Yeah, he got.
What's the word? What's the word, everybody?
Ooh,
hey, what's
turn
up?
the volume down. There you go. We'll get him back. We'll come back to him in just a minute. You good now, brother?
Yep.
Okay, that sounds real good. We turn you down just a little bit.
Yeah, we're good. It wasn't that. It was the AC right above me. So
Okay, turn your volume down. You're a little high.
is it? All right.
Yeah, you're a little high.
That better? Mic
No.
check.
You're still too loud.
Still loud. You're still real
On
loud.
the high side.
You know what? I think it's the settings from last week.
That's all right.
How's that? Is that better?
That's much better.
Perfect. Yes, sir.
All right, so let's see live podcast stuff. All right, brother, how you doing?
Good. Can't
Everybody who's still here.
Yep.
We got. Well, how you been doing, man? He got. If y'all watching the live feed, dude got this like amazing Japanese Sonic T-shirt on. If y'all can check it out, this thing is nice, man. It's like the perfect color blue. It's like got that Sonic CD character. It's all Japanese. That thing is nice, man.
Thank you.
How's everybody week been?
Oh, wow. Busy.
Pretty good. Other than being hot as hell over here, we
I
got.
know, right?
I mean, we ain't as hot over here as like y'all living in Texas, but the highest we got was like 98, 97. But shit, it's one thing about having heat weather and humidity when they mix together, man. It's something, man. It make me want to go back to the good old days of winter. I mean, I got arthritis in my right knee, and my knee aching and stuff like that. But I'd rather be going through that than this hellscape we got going over here. But other than that, we good, man. We good.
You can dress for you can't. Well, I say you can dress for winter, but you really can't dress for heat. I mean, when you hot, you just hot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, it's just like going outside and today, like going to wash your car, and your car dry before you finish washing it off.
Then it leaves those streak marks. Cars like, oh damn, now I gotta go back over it again, boy.
This heat has been like insane this summer, and I know this winter. Oh my goodness, this winter is probably going to be crazy. So you gotta just whether in America or in the South. It's wild, and it was so crazy, man. Some of my friends and my family, you know, in LA this week or in California, they had a tornado, an earthquake, and a hurricane all in the same day.
Damn, sound like somebody put in like some GTA weather mods all in the same setting. Like, damn, it was ever with those people. Like all three of those in 1 week.
Yeah, it was just like it was crazy. It was like I called my aunt and I said, "Did y'all feel the earthquake?" She said, "No," but one of my friends, she's like saying like, yeah, we was like right next to the epicenter. It was like a 5 or 6. I was like, oh geez.
Category 5, 6, damn.
Yeah, and then they had that hurricane that came through and it spun off some tornadoes too. It just this weather's crazy, man. I'm like, did somebody wish the dragon and the Dragon Balls got found on something at the same time? Oh shit.
Oh damn!
But yeah, also too, and somebody in the chat talking about, yeah, man, this week is crazy. If you're a wrestling fan, man, like 2 great people like passed away this week. Just want to shout out Bray Wyatt and the crazy man Terry Funk. Man, it's been crazy. Like, and Terry Funk was like 70 something. He almost got close to 80 years old, but he had passed away. And then Bray Wyatt, you know, passed away for like health complications and stuff. And man, just tell you people that you love them, man. You know, like no bickering, no arguing. You know, just this life is short. You never know when you're gonna be here. You never know when you're gonna be gone. So, like I said, life is a present. Treat it like that every day, man. I'm still shocked. You know, I just got to watching SmackDown, and it was like a beautiful tribute. And I was like, wow, this is just crazy. Like, especially even if you don't watch wrestling, you will hear about it like, oh wow, you know, this dude was like 36 years old, young, and just had like 4 children, and one was on the way, and these kids gonna, you know, man, his kid, that is crazy, you know. So the shout out to the family, thoughts and prayers, like I said, you know, to his family and friends and fans. So yeah, this week has been wild, you know, especially in sports entertainment.
Yep, that's facts.
Super sad.
Well, yeah, but let's talk about games, man. Like the video game world, it keeps on going. Every week is something new. And this week has been pretty crazy, from Armored Core being releasing. I heard Armored Core, I saw it's in like an 85, 86, 87. So, you know, From Software said, you know what, we finna come back and just like take people wallets and ringing folks' necks. They like, hey, we here to stay, you know. I haven't got my hands on an Armored Core 6. I know Mega, he's got his coming in tomorrow. Alex, you know, he got like 6 copies, probably like stashed up, never gonna open and stuff. I haven't played it. I'm probably gonna buy that, you know.
It's my retirement fund.
Yeah, right.
Shit, might as well be, man.
Might well be, yeah. It might be.
At the end of the day, that all like however many copies he got, that might be his retirement plan. Shoot.
I know, right? But let's start off talking about, you know, I almost said the Panasonic Cube, which I have it right over there, but we got talking about let's talk about the new Wii U. I mean, the Sony PlayStation Portable. Not
now,
the
you
Wii
said
U.
it right. The Wii U point 2. Yeah,
the
right.
Wii U 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Wow.
Is that the Switch? Well, let's talk about that, man.
I would say
like,
the Switch is up. Well, we're gonna get into it.
This, I have mixed emotions of it, right? I would say first off, right, I absolutely think the device is beautiful. I have a thing for Sony devices, and they have this elegance to them. Like from like the first Walkman, from the radio, from the little radio TV, from everything they make, you know, the stuff is like beautiful. I love it. I absolutely love the designs. Now, design be had, all right. The support for the things they bring out is like Google. They'll bring something out, and then they just lose support. I mean, look at the PSP, look at the Vita, look at the PSP TV, look at the PlayStation TV, look at the PlayStation 3D TV. I mean, a lot of these modern products, Sony just like, all right. I'm tired. I want to do something else. This thing right here it's a great price at $199. Really good price because it was $250, 300. It'd have been dead in the water. Nobody would have bought it. But you need a PS5. You need Wi-Fi, but don't have Bluetooth. But to use, I guess, Bluetooth, you need this new Sony. Like, it reminds me of like the Vita or the PSP. You need their own memory sticks to use their devices, and that never ever works. I don't know why. It is so stubborn. And me being a huge Sony fan, I still say that's a bunch of BS. But who want to talk about this right now?
Oh, let me jump on this.
Uh-oh, well, look.
No,
the floor.
Okay.
Yeah, the floor.
Mega, go ahead. Because what I gotta say is I gotta say. So, Mega, go ahead. You're good.
Oh, okay. I'll go first then. Yeah, because we've known about this device since what? I want to say late May, maybe early April, something like that. And then I was kind of skeptical about it because we was hearing things about how you would need your PS5 in order to use it. That was a big red flag. And then like the tech specs that was going on behind it. But now that they finally showed it, my only concern is exactly what the market that's aiming for. Like, who is this actually for? Because the only people I can really think about is like that one guy who comes home from a long day at work, you know, his girl or wife or significant other just sitting right there watching, I don't know, Desperate Housewives, whatever she watching. Hey, look,
that's an old show, man.
Don't at me. Look, I don't mean to sound sexy enough, but whatever y'all watch, he comes in. He's like, I want to play like some God of War or some Horizon Forbidden West. His girl right there his girl talking there for an hour. I don't know. I can't really see other than someone like him, like not being able to get access to the TV. And it's like, all right, I guess I'll just turn the PS5 on, take this Wii U looking tablet thing, go upstairs and play for about an hour. Like, I can only see that being used for so many durations of playtime because since it's attached to your PS5, that right there is already a killer right there. You have to have a PS5 to use this thing. It's not like it's a Switch. It's not like it's a ROG Ally or a Steam Deck or anything like that can operate solely independent from the system. So it's just, I'm just really I'm concerned about the market it's going for. Oh, and then added to that, you can honestly still do the things that thing is advertising right now with this type of device. All you gotta do is buy those was like a backbone accessory controller type, add this to your phone, and then remote play from your PlayStation to your phone.
Let me counter on that too, because this is what I've been seeing, right? It's been a lot of concern and hate, and really I say concern hate, because whenever a new product like this is introduced, people are like, who is it for? Why do we need this, right? And then like the diehards or the fans, and I'll call myself a diehard fan of it, try to make excuses for this. It was the same thing with the Wii U, right? When the Wii U came out, like, why did we need this? But the pad, you did need the pad to play most of the games. You didn't have to use it, but it was like the selling point, which it didn't really like. It really didn't like measure up, really. And the Wii U kind of like just went to the wayside. I always call the Wii U the beta Switch. You know, it was the beta for the Nintendo Switch. You know, this PlayStation Portal thing, I do think it's going to sell, but I don't think, because Sony is in a weird place in the last ever since like the Vita. They've been in a weird place with handhelds and other accessories that's not the PlayStation platform. I noticed this, like the Vita, amazing machine, great games, way beyond what it's supposed to been out, but then they just lost support. Then they brought the PlayStation TV and the big 3D TV. Nobody really kind of bought it. Then here comes the PSVR, mildly successful, really good with the PlayStation 4, but then the second one is crap. Nobody's buying it. I don't even want one right now. I wait to get like that. Like I made a video a couple months ago, like, and people got mad at me about the video. I say, don't buy the PSVR 2, buy the old one. While everybody knocking their old, selling their old ones for like $150. Great library, still great games, but nobody's playing the PSVR 2. They sell them in GameStop. Nobody's buying it because it costs more than a freaking PS5, in which the PS5 to get reshaped. It's just so much going on, you know. It just be going on, you know. Like, what's up, Destiny? girl Destiny up here. But yeah,
Can I hop in there?
I'm going to definitely get one. But it's just a lot of concerns that I think is not going to live up to. I think Sony is going to bring this thing out. The fans like us is going to buy it, but then it's going to lose support. I could be wrong, but as history showing me, Sony's not going to support this thing long term. All right, Alex, I know you've been chumping a bit.
All right, check this. So, okay, I'm taking stuff from both what you and Mega said, right? So, like, here's the deal. Sony just recently came out with dedicated gaming monitors that are specifically designed for like the PlayStation 5. You can also use them for your PC, all that kind of stuff. And it's like those things were fetching a premium at launch. Right now, you can buy them on discount everywhere, right?
Which your monitors?
Say that again.
You said the monitors on discount right now?
Yeah, I mean, lots of different retailers will have them. I don't remember the model numbers on them, like what they are, but like if you look, they, I think when they first came out, they had like a premium price. Now they're below premium price, $50 to $100 less than what they'd originally put them out for and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. I've seen the TV. I actually seen the PS5 TV. I almost bought one because it's like about $800. Okay, I wanted one because eventually I'm gonna start doing more streaming and stuff, and I want to put one right here in the office. But go ahead, man. Yeah, I seen.
But anyway, so it's like same thing with their newest headsets, like the H7 and the H9. You can get those for anywhere between $20 and $50 less than what their MSRP is. Yeah. So it's like a lot of this stuff that Sony puts out, they'll like just kind of put it out there to sell. Now, this device does not cost much to make. They're charging, I think, overcharging for this. $199 is steep. I think that if they had come in at a $129.99 on this thing would sell much more quickly out the gates. And, the use case scenario that Mega was kind of describing is exactly right. Somebody is going to be like, if you're in a one TV household and you want to be able to play on your PlayStation and somebody else wants to be able to watch TV or game, whatever, this is I think a pretty decent option, right? One of the concerns I have is the battery life on this.
Yes, I know about the battery life. You're right about that.
Yeah, so they said that it's very similar to the base vanilla PlayStation 5 controller. And you guys know with a full charge, if you're playing, you might be able to get 10 to 12 hours out of that if you're, depending on how you play and what options you have in terms of your LED lighting and stuff like that are on. So that's, I guess it's not that big of a deal because you're at home, or even if you're out someplace remotely, a lot of times most of us are sitting on a couch or in bed or whatever. So usually there's like a power brick nearby and you just have the USB-C hooked up and you're just playing. So it's not that big of a deal, but if you're just dependent on that battery to be able to carry you through, you're going to fly from, JFK to Seattle and you've got layovers and stuff like that, you got to make sure that you've got, someplace to plug up your stuff or a portable battery pack. So I have some concerns with that. I think that it's overpriced.
That's not a concern. That's not a concern because look, we're used to these right here. Look at this.
Absolutely.
This right here lasts a good 4 hours, but we still charge and play it. So I don't think the battery is the issue. I think, in my opinion, is the issue of Sony's history of not supporting this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these things are going to go on sale. Mark my words, right? Next year, you'll be able to buy this thing for $100.
No, I don't believe so. I don't believe so. You think so?
Sony, I think so. I'm not saying that Sony will necessarily drop the price, but because there'll be a certain number that are stuck in the retail channel, the stores will be like, we have to fire sale these to get them out of storage, basically.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm sorry. Oh no, you good. But I was saying, honestly, I think because honestly, when people start looking at this in the store, they're gonna think, oh, PlayStation Portable, it can play my PlayStation 5 games on the go. But when a lot of them start realizing you need a PlayStation to actually use this thing, I think a lot of them are gonna drop support.
Because you're gonna pick these up at the pawn shop for nothing. I mean, you're gonna be able to get them pretty cheap at the pawn shop.
Yeah, there's gonna be a very, I'm already predicting this right now. There's gonna be a very large amount of people that's actually thinking that you can use this completely independent of PS5 when that's not gonna be the case.
Yeah,
right. That's what I think the problem is gonna be.
Yep.
In theory, if you look at it for what it is.
Look at this right here.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at it bare bones, it's a PS5 companion.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they said.
Like, how far is that really going to go? Unless they like expand on it, do updates or something like. I don't even know how that would work. I definitely can agree that I feel like the price is going to drop, and once that happens, because I don't feel like it's going to sell, Sony going to abandon it.
I don't think so. I disagree with y'all on that one, because look right here, the backbone. The backbone been $100 since 2 years ago when it came out with the Xbox One, and it's still $99.
These things go on sale for like $33 and $66 all the time. I mean, like, if you are paying attention to when these hit, like, if you're, there's a lot of these different deal websites, and I have it, these particular, like the backbone, all that stuff pegged, like, is a thing. It'll send me a thing. It's like, hey, you can buy these for 50% off right now, or it's like, it's on Woot for like, $49.99, or, that type of thing. So even though that's the MSRP, they go for less all the time. And I'll be honest, the build quality on those things is not great. My personal preference is to use an actual PS5 controller that's Bluetooth connected to like my iPad, and then I can have my iPad sitting there while I'm playing remotely, and it's like that actually works pretty well.
Yeah, it is concerning. It's a lot of concern. I do think, like I said, like most people who gonna buy it. Hey, Terry's thing is kind of ugly. I don't know if you're talking about the backbone or the PlayStation one, but
they're both ugly.
I would say he's probably talking about both. Yeah,
but it's just like the people who've been burnt by the Vita just know, because the Vita was so good. The PSP was phenomenal. First launch day I was there with
PSP
Vita.
Yeah.
Even when they tried to put AT&T as their primary carrier for like the like 3G connectivity on the Vita, I was still there. But when they just lost support for it, this is giving me Vita vibes, because everybody wants another portable like PlayStation. Now, what if PlayStation is putting this out to test the waters, to see if
it's a bad idea. It's a horrible idea, because what's happening is you put a product out that's going to fail, then you're going to be like, well, we learned our lesson, so here's the other product that you guys really wanted. I'm like, bro, it's like you already had me drop $200 for this, and now you're going to give me the thing that I actually wanted.
People bought the Switch.
Yeah, but how many years was it between the Switch and the Wii U?
I mean, it was a 10-year life
cycle. Wii U sold like 60,000 globally, right? I'm kidding. But it's like, nobody bought that thing. And then the Switch came. The Switch came. It had games, because they took all those Wii U games and put them on those little cartridges. It launched with Zelda, and then all of a sudden it just like exploded. Like, people were like, this is the best thing since sliced bread. The 3D haptics on the, Wiimotes. The fact that you can dock it, you can take it with you. And then all of a sudden at the time, like, you were taking these games that traditionally you couldn't take a Nintendo game with you like that. You couldn't put a NES in the back of your, pocket, or SNES or an N64 or whatever.
We had the 3DS. We had the 2DS.
No, I know.
We had the DS. The DS.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. It's like that stuff was.
No.
I mean, like, like from a technical standpoint,
the DS is the second best system.
No, I'm not. Hey, I'm not taking any of that away. But I'm just looking at it like as me personally, my opinion, because I like, higher end hardware, right? Like, I've got a ROG, Ally, and I've got a Steam Deck.
ROG Ally is trash too right now. So,
well, if you use like an SD card, it's horrible.
It's trash. It's a Windows. Anything with Windows device is trash. Steam Deck is pretty like one. You bought that shit and it's trash.
Yeah, I was like, the time I use it, I mean, when it works right, it's at least on my it's fine. But when it doesn't,
justify that money.
Well, I'll be honest. I got mine for like 400 and change, right?
You
like,
it was. Open it. Have you probably ain't played it?
No, it's open. It's open. I got my little here. Hold on. I got my little case and everything. See, look.
Look, here's a question about this. She said,
"A rare sighting of Alex's hand. I love it.
I know, right?
Clever Gamer's Ally. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, look,
that's like seeing a rare Pokemon out in the wild. Let's go.
Gotta catch them all, Pokemon.
Hey, look what she said. She said, "Will people feel different if you could add 5G service to that new PlayStation thing?"
They probably would. I mean,
honestly,
at least you won't have to be tethered to your house in order to use that, because that's my biggest thing. Like, unless you're at home, it's obsolete. You can't really.
See, I thought it was actually going to be the concept of how when I'm assuming it's gotten better, but when Microsoft had like the cloud gaming where you could play it on your iPad and stuff like that.
Yeah,
as long as like your system's home connected to the internet. I thought it was piggybacking off that concept. But if
you
you got to be in the house.
No. You don't have to stay in the house.
Price to just be there. Like, I'm sorry. Like, that's kind of
how remote play works, though. You can.
That's
you have to be
the
at your
remote
house.
play. Like, if you let's say you're in Hawaii, your PlayStation is in California, and then you got Wi-Fi in Hawaii. You can turn on this portal and then access your PlayStation back home in California.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it does do that. It does do that.
No, it does do that.
Okay.
Yeah, it does
how
do
remote
that.
play works.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Because I thought he was saying like it was going to be, I guess people looking at it as like a standalone device. I mean, so I guess I would imagine if they put like some kind of cellular service on there, and then you're able to do that, but then it's kind of like depending on how your console's hooked up at home. Like I got them on surge protectors. I turn them off. Yeah, which means I turn them on and leave access. I mean, but I guess it just depends on what you want. But
well, this is how remote play works, man. That's what Alex was talking about. Like, if you have Wi-Fi, you can connect it, but how good is your Wi-Fi? How good would it be? Because, like, say you can have God of War, downloaded on your Xbox. I mean, on your Xbox. Yeah, there we go. On your PS5, and that would be funny to do. But on your Xbox, on your PS5, and then you can turn it on and then play it. Like, say you down here in Dallas and your stuff is at home, you can turn it on and play it. But how good would it be? Because like the Vita does that. You can do remote play, and especially on the PS4, you can do remote play with the Vita through PS4, and it's amazing. But just depend on,
Well, it's two factors in that. It depends on wherever you have the portal at, that internet connection, and then that's all. To my understanding, is going to be on like the PlayStation's like kind of network. So, if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of the PlayStation Network is going to kind of host the in between, kind of like the middleman for that. I don't think it's good. Is it going to be strictly internet, or is like is the network going to kind of be the middleman for that?
No, it's strictly
be connected to the internet, and then that the network in the middle.
It's weird. We won't have to wait.
Strictly, it's strictly off your PlayStation. It's strictly off your PlayStation. You're not streaming off of
like a cloud data server.
Yeah, it's not a cloud. It's not a cloud thing.
Got it.
The Xbox PlayStation. That's what it's going to be. that's the next one. It's going to be like Voltron. The Xbox PlayStation. That would be dope. If we just had one system, that would be, or two systems. Because I figured.
Well, you know what? What would fix the problem is and I've had a lot of people jump all over this. I was like, bro, just make a universal standard, like a specific game player, and have everybody put their own software on there, and then they get their individual software sales. And the problem is that, obviously, it's like a lot of people are like, why would Sony want to do that? Because they're so far in the lead. And I'm kind of like, I mean, that's a fair point, but it would fix a lot of problems.
What's up, Ness? He jumping in. Bro. Ness was all in Vegas. He probably at the table right now. Got a little buzz. Got a little drink. Got a little cards in his hand. Little chips in his hand.
Don't lose too much money with that, brother. That's all.
Don't lose all that money, brother. Shoot.
Yeah. They get your ass one time, man. It's just a roller coaster, bro.
Hey, with his luck, he ain't losing no money. That dude.
Oh, you're right.
He come back with 5 or 6 Neo Geo games.
And let's be honest, even if he do lose his money, and look, he got just enough in order to recoup that on his back wall, so he good.
I know.
All right, let me stop talking about that man's collection. You good,
hey, I went over the other day for my birthday, man. That dude got that stuff is so beautiful in person, bro. I'm so I'm holding $6 million in my hand.
Hey, guess might be, man. You just
shoot. Well, now watch before he leave, I'm gonna find something else at Goodwill again. And he gonna be like, whenever each of us go out of town, we either find something when one of us out of town. So I'm trying to go to.
Oh, that sucked. They just hate that.
Oh, hey, look who jumped in here. My girl J Love. What's up, J Love?
What's going on?
What's up?
Y'all met J Love. This girl, me and her act just alike. Like we are both like the same clowning and stuff. I love this. This girl is amazing, y'all. She gonna come back and stuff. This girl is hilarious. I'm gonna get on a podcast one night because she is just a clown. I love her. But yeah, man, this stuff on the PlayStation. I shouldn't be worried because I'm saying PlayStation gonna PlayStation. And like Nintendo.
Oh, no.
Nintendo. PlayStation gonna PlayStation. It just it's like they're trying to do so much, and it looks beautiful, right? But they always have this, you got to play our way or don't play at all mindset from like the stuff from doing like the media cards or the memory cards for like for the Vita and the PSP. I hate that. And then like the 3D TV that halfway worked, and then they try to push 3D and this. But
dude, it's like the same thing with the Xbox Series X and S, right? Like they have those like proprietary like SSD drives, whereas you could just buy off-the-shelf PC parts for your PlayStation 5. And they learned that because of how badly they got reamed on the Vita memory. But here's my question: does the Portal have any speakers on it, or do you have to use headphones of some kind?
Ooh, I don't.
That's a good question. Let's look it up.
My understanding is that there's no speakers, so you either have to use the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, or you have to use their proprietary wireless. If you have to pick up the proprietary wireless, so you can use a Pulse headset, like the original PlayStation Pulse headset, which is $99 MSRP, but you can get that for as low as $80. Like I've seen them go low, the whatever. There's a PS3, and then of course the high-end Sony headsets, the H7 and H9 or whatever, those work on it as well. They've got a Pulse Elite that's coming, but I guarantee you that'll be a $200 headset at least. The wireless headset that they've got, that's another $200. So if you don't have a Pulse headset, you're gonna have to use a 3.5 millimeter jack with like earbuds. And I'm
you can't use your Apple. You can't use your Apple.
Nope.
I'm reading it right now. Apparently it doesn't take Bluetooth. It takes some type of PlayStation portable wireless technology to connect to devices.
They always try to do that.
You gotta use it. They trying to make a come up. Only Sony, man. Only Sony can do this.
It's always doing that
good, brother.
It's so stupid.
I'm just what was this? Junie Jam, no speakers, so you have to buy an external listening device to listen to this thing, bro.
Man,
it is BS.
I didn't even know that until you guys brought that up. Damn,
that's BS. But
can you imagine going home and being like, I'm gonna sit down and play, and there's no speakers.
so you got $200 to pay for this device, and then another possibly $100 or $50 to $100 just for the audio.
I still got my old Apple headphones right here. I'm gonna use them joints.
That's a scam if I ever heard one, bro. Damn.
Yeah. Right here. So he says, somebody right here says scam. Scam.
Bro, $200 for a while.
But he right.
Don't got no speakers.
You know what though? We still gonna buy, especially me. I'm gonna do a video on it and then put it back in the box and be like Alex and not use it for another 6 years.
No, but the thing is though, right? Like you are in a different position than the average consumer, right?
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, because think about it. You've got a YouTube channel. You've got this gigantic collection. You buy and sell your collection on a regular basis. You make good money off this stuff. So it makes sense for you to pick up everything. You have to, right? To kind of be up to date with stuff.
Everything. I still got to open
But you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
So, but the average consumer, like some...
I can write off the text thing, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you're somebody who's sitting there and you're like, well, I don't want to waste my money on something that I may or may not use. Like, I would definitely take a pause and really pay attention to what this is. Wait for the hands-on videos. Wait for all the reviews. Pay attention to the Right Way channel when he does his review and say, hey, is this something for me or not? Because you don't want to get caught into a situation with the whole FOMO, fear of missing out. I went and bought a $200 thing. Now I can't do anything with it because it doesn't do the things that I want it to. Okay, I'm going to go and sell this at GameStop. They're going to give me pennies on the dollar, or I'm going to take it to a pawn shop or whatever. I'm out at least $80 to $100 by the time it's all said and done. That's not a position you want to be in. You know what I'm saying? So like, pay attention, pause, take your time, do your research, then make the decision whether you want to buy it or not.
You know what, man? Though, like I said, this is so crazy. And everything as you're saying is right. But like I said, you're gonna have people go buy it like me. I voted probably buy it. Maybe.
I'll probably Amazon rent it, and I use that very loosely. So yeah, that's. Hey, look. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Hey, look.
You're gonna get canceled.
My views and opinions do not reflect this podcast as a whole. But yeah, I may be doing the Amazon rent. I'm just.
Amazon rented. That's a good one.
Hey, I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt. Amazon rented.
I'm on Amazon renting. What happened? I already rented it on Amazon for a little
Hey,
while.
just as a heads up on that, if you buy too much and return too much, they will eventually get to the point where they will cancel your account and/or not allow you to do any returns. So be careful with that. And they won't tell you when you hit that number, but they pay attention.
Hey, Best Buy did me that years ago. Boy, I used to buy stuff and return it so much. Best Buy called and say, "Hey, you can't bring nothing back for a whole year." I was so mad, but also it saved me some money.
That stuff with phones, bro, like $1,500 a pop, and you're like, "I'm just gonna take this back." I'm like, "Really?"
I did. I used to do that with phones and do reviews. Take that joint back. Man,
TVs.
No more, man.
The dude was like, $600,000 a year at Best Buy, and he's like, "No, I'm gonna return it all."
I did. I did that stuff all the dang time, and they be mad.
Like it's got to be something with that though, because you got laws about buyer's remorse. You gotta give people a chance, like if they take something home, like
but they look at trends and how much you do and the volume, right? Like the average consumer, you're 100%, but when you get to the point where you're gaming the system, that's when they crack down on you.
So the PlayStation Portal, y'all. Final thoughts on it? You gonna buy it? Yes, no, what?
Wait and see.
I'm gonna buy it day one.
That's a maybe rental for me, brother. So yeah, I'm gonna put that right now.
Rental.
I think I'm gonna wait and see some reviews. You see if it's worth.
I'm gonna wait until Wright does it. Mr. Wright does it. I'll watch his review and then I'll decide if I want it or not.
Stop, Blonde. You got 6 on pre-order right now. They ain't even on pre-order.
No, swear to God, I did not even touch it. I looked at it and was like, "There's no speakers, there's no Bluetooth. Nah, I'm gonna pass on this."
I don't know.
But then you know what though? Hey,
it kind of sounds like you're going to add the cart right now, so I don't know.
Man, but speaking of adding the cart, y'all, I cannot wait for these collector's editions coming out. When she would talk about these games coming out this year. So Armored Core 6, the collector's edition just came out. $500 collector's edition. Alex got 25. Mega got 2. I ain't got none because both bought everything.
I said I should have gotten 2. Hold on, let me put me on Front Street like that. I should have gotten 2. I just got 1.
I would like to get the 1, but it looks like a bad ass collector's edition. But man, are these games coming out right now, y'all? Right? Are there too many games releasing right now? Because
no, there's not. Don't even
really.
No, look. This is the situation we're in. All of us have been walking around in the desert like Moses with the Israelites. Finally get a drop of rain, and then all of a sudden people are like, "Oh, it's raining too much." I'm like, no. Let that flood come for a minute, y'all. Hold on. Let the man cook. Because it's like when you go to that all-you-can-eat buffet, and you're like, there's prime rib, and there's like tacos, and there's pizza, and there's this, there's that, and be like, I'm sorry, there's too much selection. Nah, I want you overeat, overindulge, be the fat bastard cream sitting on the back, going like, I can't eat anymore. That's perfect. And the fact that the second half of 2023 is so insanely stacked. This is one of the best years in gaming. Full stop.
Not for Xbox.
I endorse what he says. Yes.
Hey,
absolutely.
I'm just talking about gaming. I'm not being a console warrior here. I'm talking about games. I play games. I give zero shits about consoles. That's all I care about is the game. So the fact that I've got Final Fantasy 16, the fact that I've got Baldur's Gate 3, the fact that I've got Starfield, the fact that I've got MK, Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, etc., etc. Never mind the fact we've got Lords of the Fallen, and we've got all this other stuff. I mean, literally, there's too many games to play, and I love it. Finally, this is what it's supposed to be about.
Super Mario Wonder.
Hey,
yeah. Oh, dude, I got that on pre-order. That's going to be an amazing game. Give me that 2D Mario.
Yep. Lies of P, all the stuff that came early this year with the Dead Space remake, Resident Evil 4 remake, that Harry Potter game did really well. Yeah, it was a lot, man. That's a lot.
True.
And
Tears of the
and Game of the Year this year, it's gonna have some crazy competition. We forgot Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom came out. I mean, we got a full-on sequel to a major Zelda, major franchise entry. I mean, bro, it's like if you can't find something to play, then you're not a gamer. That's somebody who's just sitting there.
That's facts too. That's facts too.
It's something for everybody. Oh my goodness, something for everybody. And then the new Sonic's Origins coming out. They got a date. It's coming out the week of Spider-Man. It's coming out the week of Spider-Man and Mario Wonder.
That's what. That's damn near $300 that somebody. Actually, probably more than that if you got the collector's editions and the other stuff you're trying to get. That's like damn near $400 you're spending right there.
Shoot, I'm already spending $400 between the collector's edition of Mortal Kombat 1 and Starfield.
Yep.
I mean, next month next month, what? Starfield, Mortal Kombat 1. What else is coming out next month?
Good point.
Big.
Let's pull up the list.
The two big titles. Well, that's the two big titles: Mortal Kombat 1 and Starfield.
But I mean, I don't think people realize how big these games are, right? Like Mortal Kombat 1 is a game that you're going to be playing for like the next 5 to 10 years, right?
No, you're going to be playing Mortal Kombat 1 for the next 2 years.
Nah, when did Mortal Kombat 11 come out?
Mortal Kombat 11 came out, what, 3 years
ago?
That was
2019. Yeah, it was right before the pandemic, 2019.
Okay, so 19... that's 4 years. My bad, 4 years, whatever.
But no, with fighting games like Mortal Kombat, like NetherRealm games like that, they play like good 3 years and they fall off, and then you be waiting for the next one. That's just how it is,
Yeah.
And then I played the beta. It plays just like Mortal Kombat 11, just a little prettier version. I mean, it's good. The fatalities. I tried to upload a video on YouTube and they blocked it.
They blocked it.
You ain't getting past them.
So that was. I was so mad. Like I soon uploaded and said, "Oh yeah, they can't." They put a bit. I said, "I just delete." That's why I ain't gonna worry about.
Yeah, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, it's like there's certain stipulations and like loopholes you gotta get around on YouTube just to post that stuff. Yeah, it's been that way since Mortal Kombat X. It's probably been that way since Mortal Kombat X. So that's been like an ongoing thing. So you ain't doing.
Really?
Trust me. You know,
that's my first time trying to upload them. I was like, I played them beta. I did everybody's fatality. I put it on there. And I'm like, ooh.
Yep, they was censoring all that. I was looking. So one of my friends was playing the beta this weekend. And yeah, she streamed it to YouTube, but they took it down like literally 15 minutes after she started streaming it. They took it down.
Dang.
I said, this is just a game, yo. But don't fatalities. Fatalities ain't no joke.
Yeah, man. That's the main reason. It's the fatality. I don't even think it's like the core game. It's like how visceral the fatality. Yep, it's how visceral the fatalities are because they be going in on them. They be going in.
But it's so ridiculously over the top that anybody looking at it with any sense of like sense, having any common sense, like, oh yeah, it's just over the top bull crap. It's fun to watch, But Starfield, and y'all just bear with me on this. Starfield, I think the game is going to be great. I'm looking forward to it, whatever.
I hope so.
But what's really important about this is that they've got all this mod support built into it. They're going to be playing the crap of this game for the next 10 to 15 years easy, if not longer. You can make your own planets. You can make your own everything, basically. And they're giving the tools for folks to be able to do that. I'm telling you, this game is going to be like one of those things where people are just going to be like oohing and awing over it forever and ever. I don't know, what's the Metacritic score? Is it going to be an 80, 85, 90? Who knows? It's going to be somewhere, probably in that range, right? But the bottom line is that, you look at like Skyrim and stuff like that. These games with all that mod support, bro, we're going to have all kinds of crazy stuff. I guarantee you there'll be a Mass Effect mod. There'll be a Star Wars mod. All that kind of stuff. Absolutely. Go for it. You know what? It's like they made this huge sandbox for people playing, and I think that's one of the selling points of the game, to be honest. Oh, and I'm playing it on PC. I'm getting it for Series X, but I'm playing it on PC because I want to be able to do more than 30 frames a second.
Yep, same here. My Constellation Edition is on PC for that specific reason. Yeah, I refuse to go to peasantry 30 frames after having this.
That's facts.
We ain't doing. Hey, look, man. It's like once you start playing games over like a certain frame rate resolution, man, it's hard to go back, bro. It's hard.
Absolutely.
To go back.
When you get that RTX 4090 going, I can do this. Let me do this. You're like, yes, yeah, you are absolutely gonna.
Yeah, like certain retro games, like all right, because they were built for a particular time, but like newer games, nah, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. It's spoiled too much.
I mean, just think when Grand Theft Auto 6 drops. If they have a simultaneous PC release, bro, PC is going to be the way to play that game.
The mods on Grand Theft Auto now is crazy.
The RP servers.
I love watching some of this stuff. Like they had like a whole like WWE like mod. They had like Teenage Mutant.
I know what you're talking about.
Man, this stuff was so funny. Like it's just I like how to get away with this.
You could do a lot with that.
There were these people. They literally they created one of those party buses, but they made it look like one of those WWE wrestling things from like SmackDown, and it was driving around all of Los Santos. The people fighting, and it was doing stuff like that while they was role playing, bro. It was, I gotta send you all that video, boy.
You gotta see that.
They make some amazing stuff on it, man. I thought that was fantastic. So they literally made a road show for WWE fans just driving around, bro. That was fantastic.
But GTA though, look, GTA 5 had been on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, PS4, now PS5. This game, This game got to go down in history. GTA 5 has to go down in history as a game because that game was everywhere. People grew up with GTA 5.
Quite
People grew up with GTA 5, man. Like I bet you somebody who started playing games when they was 7 or 8 and now is like a teenager. They grew up with GTA 5.
6. GTA 6.
It go longer than that, man. Somebody probably grew up with this, came out of high school, went to college, probably got married and had like 1 or 2 kids by the time this thing with the PS5.
They got a receding hairline now, bro. Come on.
Yeah, bro.
That's why I wear a hat. No, I got a receipt. I got a spot. That's crazy,
man.
Though.
It's a blessing to live every year that you live. You know what I'm saying? And if you get a little bit old and wrinkled and gray, that's part of the process. So
it is wise, or you get wise and smarter.
It's just like PlayStation. It's like PlayStation moniker. Greatness awaits. So shit, that's what it is.
Greatness awaits. I can't wait for Spider-Man, man. I can't.
You know what's really awesome though? When it's our time to be in the retirement home, it's gonna be lit because they better have those LANs set up. We're gonna be like gaming like a son of a bitch, all up in these retirement homes doing our thing. I'd be like, yes. Give me my applesauce and my controller.
Oh, there them young boys go again buying VC and V Bucks. Like
my social security check is going to buy Robux.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But no, man, it's like I'm super stoked. I think that having this cornucopia, this abundance of games is just exactly what we all needed. I think that we're finally, we're out of the desert. We're finally getting a drink. And quite frankly, I think that this is going to be like I've said this 1,000 times. I've coined the term. This is the platinum age of gaming. We all remember the golden age of gaming. This is the platinum age of gaming. And it's only going to get better. 2024, I think, is going to be just insane. And by the sounds of it, like, for example, I think Hellblade 2 is going to be out, Q1 of 2024? So somewhere January, February, March, in that time frame. And if they do that, that's 6 months after Starfield. Well, crap. I mean, look at all the stuff that Sony's going to be dropping. I'm like, bro, this is going to be awesome. Like, see, that's the thing. If you only play in one ecosystem, you're missing out. But if you play in all the ecosystems, hell yeah, man. You're just eating like it's nobody's business.
I think a lot of people have many systems. I just think a lot of people foolishly just like play this darn what's my favorite? My box is better than your box. Kind of
my box is better than your box. Like, get out of here, bro.
Like nobody cares about that. Like really no more. And another thing too is like graphically, I think graphics had hit a point of like, okay, what is going to be the next thing? Because right now the new thing is frames per second. It used to be graphics. Now it's frames per second.
Ray tracing. Ray tracing. No, genuinely, because ray tracing is going to become more and more sophisticated. And then you got the stuff like the FSR and the DLSS, right? Like, so they found a way finally to be able to render images as close to like a native 4K, actually higher fidelity in some instances than 4K. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't tax the system, right? So all of a sudden you have these resources that can be used for other elements. For example, your player logic, all the different things that the characters can do, the environment, indestructible environments, et cetera, foliage, all that kind of stuff. When you're in that kind of situation, that allows the game developers to be much more creative. So when you're able to offload overhead from one area, then you can take those resources and redistribute them somewhere else. I think we're going to start seeing games that we can't even comprehend yet. Like, I think it's going to be, this is the pinnacle of kind of like the old school way of thinking of games. And now that you got this new generation coming up and we've got this new technology coming up, we're about to be absolutely blown away.
Yeah. Well, when they, I agree with halfway on that because each company, Microsoft and Sony, is kind of leading that way. Sony's always trying to push that next thing. They've been trying to push 8K since the PlayStation 5 came out, and nobody has really 8K. Maybe like beta TVs and TV, but nobody's really running 8K. Maybe 5K or 6K, maybe. But what how is 8K movies gonna look like? Right now, 4K movies look darn good. 4K Blu-ray to a regular Blu-ray. You can tell the difference, but how many people are going to adopt that? Because, like I was saying, like in another podcast, the Xbox 360 ushered in the HDMI TV era. 720p, 1080i, 1080p. Then it went 1080p. I guess Sony is going to try to do that or trying to push that because they put 8K right on the PlayStation 5 box. It's not even doing it right now, but it will. Like I guess next year the PlayStation Pro or a Pro version, well, it's called a PS5 Pro, which is probably going to be. It probably will be like 8K ready, or I'll put a patch for the PS5s to do 8K, but. Then you'll probably see when you start seeing the TVs that's doing 8K, then you'll start seeing the system because that's how like Sony likes to do it.
The TVs will lead, not the consoles. They'll be playing catch up. And quite frankly, until you see 8 gaming in the PC universe, then I'm not holding my breath on any of that. I think what is going to happen though is that you're going to see the best version of 4K. And this whole entire ray tracing, because like the big thing about ray tracing is being able to have that ray and do what you want it to do, right? So like if it's light, that ray travels and then it hits an object, what happens? And that second part where it bounces and starts going all over places, that's where the heavy computation and stuff comes in. So when they get these new systems and as the technology increases, then it becomes much more sophisticated. So you'll be able to have like, Spider-Man climbing on glass and actually getting not a lower resolution reflection, but a true resolution reflection because the technology has increased. Sony has actually filed several ray tracing patents. I think that we're going to see some of that in the PlayStation 5 Pro. I think that they're definitely laying the groundwork for the PlayStation 6, which I think is going to be an absolute monster of a machine. Not that the PlayStation 5 and Pro aren't, but every time they come up with something new, it's light years ahead of everybody. So I honestly think we're going to be in a really good spot. I think Sony knows exactly what they're doing. I don't know how, Microsoft is going to do things, and Nintendo does its own thing. They don't really count, right? They just kind of do their whatever. But we're about to see some stuff that we've never seen before, graphical fidelity we've never seen before, where stuff looks like photorealistic, and the uncanny valley, which is being able to tell the difference between reality and what's a CG, image, is going to be shrunk so much that it's going to be almost at the point where it's completely, bridged across.
Look at this right here. Like on the screen, we got, which probably is basic, Samsung 75-inch. QLED 8K UHD Smart Tizen TV. That's the bottom barrel, And does it what
and that's a QLED.
Yeah, what is showing 8K? Who has 8K content? I don't see a lot of 8K content. I don't.
That's something you got. You got to look up now that I think about it. Like,
you got to search.
That's the reason why it's not that much. 8K stuff available, TVs and stuff like that. It's because it's not that much 8K content yet, but I gotta, obviously I'm biased, but I do have a question for y'all, and I feel like, chat should be able to answer. When you look at some games that obviously Nintendo put out, very, very good games, how important are graphics to these games?
Since the Wii era, graphics really hasn't been that important, because I think last time I've been blown away by graphics was the PlayStation 2 era, and then everything else was like, oh, okay. PlayStation, from the jump from the PlayStation 1 from the PlayStation 2 was crazy. I remember seeing Madden 2001 at Best Buy, and I was like, God damn. I was like, I don't even like football. But I was like, I bought Madden 2001 just so when people come over my house and play a PlayStation 2, they be like, dude, this stuff is like, and then like it just kept getting like better and better and better. I was like, I really didn't see that jump. The Nintendo 64, it was like, Nintendo has always been behind on graphics. So they always been training us like, gameplay, which is true. But sometimes you want your gameplay to be like sharp as hell, be pretty. You want that Elden Ring experience. You want that, that woo. I mean, I have seen like stuff better, but just like mind blowing next level. Well, you know what? I take that back. I will say, when I turned on performance mode and the ray tracing mode on Spider-Man, and I jumped on that I saw the reflection, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. That's pretty good. That's something different. Or when I was playing Forza, and I did like the replay mode and looked at the ground like, whoa, okay, that was dope. So yes, PlayStation 2 and then now this era was like this crazy to me. It's a game, I think it's Wright 3 or 4. It's a motorcycle game on the PlayStation, and it's on the Xbox. But on the PlayStation, you do like the first person mode,
It looks photorealistic.
Yeah, it looks when you drive like, oh my gosh, it's like.
In fact, some people have been trying to pass off video from that as like them on a motorcycle and stuff. Like I've seen that. I'm like, bro,
really?
Come on. It's like, but if you don't know what you're looking at, like that uncanny valley again is so narrow.
Oh yeah,
it's like you're like, oh, that's the real thing, and it's like, nah, it's not, because the physics is off for all that. But I'll tell you something else. You were talking about a game that absolutely blew your mind when you saw it. Back in the old, like the GameCube days, when Resident Evil hit.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh my
the first one?
God.
The first remake.
The remake?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Like, we were like, what? Like, when you walked into the train car and everything had the lighting and you could see like the jostling of the train and like stuff was moving around and you're like, are you kidding me? Like, this is coming out of this little box? I think the GameCube was hands down one of my favorite consoles of all time, because they had some amazing games and they were technologically advanced and they were cutting edge. Y'all don't sleep on Nintendo. If Nintendo decided to come out swinging and fight Microsoft and Sony one-to-one on their actual level, they absolutely would do an amazing job. But that's not what they're trying to do, right? Like, if they wanted to pivot, they could, but why should they? I mean, where they are right now, they're making money hand over fist. They're happy. Their consumers are happy. We've got Nintendo Land in 2 different continents. I mean, all kinds of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got movies coming out. So Nintendo's like, no, we're just slow rolling this. Our IPs are amazing. Don't even have to mess with
them. If Nintendo wanted to shut everybody down, they probably could.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. They could brute force it easily. They
could shut everybody down. They can make, like, because they get, like I said, they got the IPs. They got the IPs and they got the money. And everybody going to want to be on that, and every other developer is really going to want to be on that new Nintendo, whatever next generation Switch, whatever it's going to be, you know.
And that thing is going to be, it's going to be nice. It's going to be real nice.
And they already, you know what Nintendo does is so crazy, and it just took me like the Mario movie, and my nephew just like sunk it in for me. They got kids now, you know, kids that really didn't know about gaming, but like my nephew's 8. And then when I saw the Mario movie, I was in Japan, went to watch it, and it was like 6 or 7 kids in there, and they all had Nintendo Switch lights. They stayed to the end, they heard Yoshi, and they jumped up, went crazy, running around the thing, turned on their Switch and started playing. And then they said, damn, we're gonna get a new Yoshi game. I said, oh my God. They just sold another game to these kids.
Yep.
And what's the Yoshi sound? They said, we have to get the new Yoshi game. I swear, I looked and like, he's okay, baby, we'll go get it. I was like, are you serious?
That movie's a huge advertisement.
Are you serious? I'm like, Yoshi wasn't even in the movie. They just heard a sound, and these little girls, they wanted to go buy the Yoshi game. I was like, what?
That Super Mario Bros. Wonder is gonna do numbers, man. I'm telling you.
That's big time.
It's gonna do numbers.
And also too, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, the new graphical style of the game is not like that boring. New Super Mario, when Super Mario Brothers, new Super Mario Brothers came out on DS, it was like, oh wow. Then when they pushed it to the Wii, it was good. But then when they pushed it to the Wii U, like, all right, I'm tired of it. Then they brought it to the Switch. I'm like, all right, already. All right, give me something else. When I saw the graphic thing of the wonder and like the style and like the atmosphere of the fun of it, I was like, ooh, that's gonna sell.
Not gonna lie, but when they had the Mario costume where he's the elephant, I was like, pause. I was like, no, this is inappropriate.
Like graphical wise, people were comparing something like Rayman Legends or Rayman Origins. That's kind of how it looks like.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, and hey, speaking of Rayman Origins, that game was so beautiful.
Oh yeah,
that game
still
is so good.
It still is. It stood the test of time.
It has.
Oh,
it
forever.
Been on every system.
Amazing.
If you play that game on like a Vita, oh my gosh, on the OLED Vita, the original one, that game is so crispy.
Or if you play on a Switch OLED, play on a Switch
OLED.
OLED.
Yeah, play on a Switch OLED. Oh, that game is so good.
Immaculate.
That's like one of the best Rayman games ever.
It's like, you know how like the Lion King will always stand the test of time, no matter how many times they remake it, it's just gonna look like beautiful all the way through. Yeah. Rayman Legends is gonna be one of those games. No matter how many decades, centuries pass by, they're gonna look at it and be like, that shit looks amazing.
And you can't remaster it because they just like it still looks good. And it plays good. Like the game, it's got that flow. Like you know how some games you can play. It's like at that Sonic, like when Sonic started going real fast and you hit everything and like boom, boom, boom. That's how that Rayman game is. It's like, oh wow, boom, 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 boom. You know, just
bro. Speaking of Sonic, the new Sonic game that's coming out, the side scroller.
Yeah, I know,
bro.
It's like Sonic Origins. It's gonna be good.
I mean, it's gonna be like, see, that's the thing, man. We're like in the renaissance of the side-scrolling like platformers. You know what I'm saying? Like the stuff that we grew up with kids. Now it's like the most ultra sophisticated version of that, and I am so freaking hyped for it. They're gonna be beautiful games.
Yeah, it's gonna be really beautiful. But something that was beautiful but funny that happened this week at Gamescom again. Jeff Keighley getting read up on again for the second time. Did this dude have any kind of security? Can somebody help my boy Jeff Keighley out? Because Jeff Keighley just be looking like, oh, hey man, how you doing? That's crazy. Like
he just no, get away.
Homie should have just dropped an elbow and like put that dude into the dirt and be like, don't ever walk up on my stage again like that. Anyway, and then just continued on. That's what he should have done.
Hey, somebody.
He should have Will Smith that dude and just drive up on stage and just
facts.
Oh no, he should Uncle Phil that dude.
Oh my god.
Throw him out. Next scene. Oh. But this is crazy though, man. Like what?
Yeah, but that guy apparently has done that in lots of other places. His shtick is he'll go and say something about Bill Clinton and then GTA 6.
No,
and he did it on a German.
That wasn't
German.
Something else.
No. They got it. This same guy has done it. He was in Germany on a game show there and did the exact same thing.
Really?
He
just walks up on stage and like nobody. I
don't see how these people get through because it's like let me ask you guys something, right?
Let a brother up on stage, we get arrested real quick.
Oh shit, they gonna arrest you when you get up on the stage. They go, what you doing? Darkness, what you doing over there back there?
You like walk on stage like this, and then everybody in there talking about you, boy.
Damn.
Oh my god.
Oh, by the way, the PlayStation Portal does not have an OLED screen. It's an LCD screen, and it's 1080p.
But the new Switch is not gonna have one either. So, but you can do
but it was funny. Hold on a second though, but you remember you saw it on social
screens though.
You saw it on social media though, right? People were all complaining about how the new Switch is going to be LCD. As soon as the PlayStation Portal came out, all of a sudden it was crickets.
Oh, no, it was the other way around too. Both of them were still complaining. I don't know what's up because you watching, but I saw the same thing. People was complaining about the Sony thing too.
I saw a mixed bag. Some people was complaining. Some people was like, "Oh, our Lord and Savior Sony." Like, oh, here we go again.
See, that's the thing, right? Like when you become a fanboy like that, like you're an actual fanatic for whatever box, you don't ever comment on the bad stuff or the missteps that your box does. And as a consumer, that's not good because if you have a large number of people, that gives feedback to the company where they're like, oh, well, everybody obviously likes this, so we're going to continue doing it. So, you should be honest.
I talk crazy about all of them, and you see all the PlayStation stuff in my room. I mean, they doing something stupid. I'm gonna let them know. Like, man, come
on.
Oh my god. Like Marvel Don. He said Jeff been looking scared since the G4 days. Remember that network? Oh my god.
G4.
Hey, it was.
You remember since the Game Head days. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Day one.
But I like Jeff Keighley, man. Jeff Keighley has been really.
Jeff's all right, but G4 was trash.
Oh, G4 got you. I hate that too.
You remember how they tried to relaunch it, and then Homegirl like basically put her foot in her mouth like 13 different times, and eventually
she destroyed that network. It was her.
She destroyed the network. She single-handedly destroyed the network. I'm like, damn.
She put people out like because she was in her feelings. And that's transition stuff. Like gamers and their feelings, man. Like you gotta watch your feelings. These are video games. These ain't political things. Ain't no statement. This is a video game is made specifically, I said it right on, for you to have freaking fun. It ain't no political agenda.
Yes.
If you don't like a game, find something else.
Preach.
It ain't about.
Some people can't do that, man.
They can't. It ain't about it ain't a racial thing. It ain't a homosexual, gay, straight, lesbian, bi thing. It's a game. It's a freaking video game. If you don't like it, play chess.
I like how you went that whole. I like how you went that whole spectrum there. Somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm one of 6 of those things you just named. I still feel offended." Hey, bro, go kick rocks, bro. That's all I'm saying.
People need to touch grass, bro. They need to touch. People in general just need to touch grass. And gaming is a hobby, but you've got to have other things in your life.
Guess what?
You know what I'm saying?
Hobby that you don't deserve. I mean, you don't have to do it. You don't deserve to play it. You don't deserve just to get every new game. The world doesn't work like that. You don't have to have every game. You don't have to have every system. You don't have to have every new release. You are not owed that. It's a privilege to play these. It's a privilege to buy it. To even have money. People just think they owe. You're not entitled to this. It's a hobby that you do not have to participate in. Yeah, you can find other ways of game. And most gamers and people, especially on internet like me, have thousands of games that they ain't played probably. Well, I played most of these growing up, but still, I still got a backlog. You don't have to. You can play games on your phone. Like, stop this stupid fighting back and forth with people like, oh, my game is... It ain't your game. It's just a game that you like to play or some other people enjoy.
Co-signed 100%.
Yeah, dang.
I be saying that most of these people who be like within these console peasantry wars, as I be calling them, it's like these people who are of and don't get upset at me. Don't get upset when I say this. Who are of a certain tax bracket who just must find any other reason under the sun to try to justify the purchase of their box. So whether they're doing like backhand, whether
that's not me. I'm like, play the games, baby. I don't care.
Whether they're doing some backhanded business dealings or not, it's like, hey, look, whatever system they got, they can't afford the other ones. Hey, look, they're gonna ride or die with it just to find some way to appease their inner self to make it seem like that they made the right choice. That's all this all comes down to, man. Bunch of broke people talking about broke people stuff. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think that's an uncomfortable truth. I think that there's a lot of people who don't want to admit that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, because again, I mean, you look at the people on this platform right now. All of us have like stuff outside of gaming, but the stuff that we have outside of gaming allows us to do all the things that we do in gaming, whether it's buying games, collecting games, consoles, t-shirts, all the stuff, right? Like all the swag. And so, you got people who look at us and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, I can't do that or whatever. And it doesn't feel good, right? So, that's why it's like, I don't like, rubbing stuff into people's faces because, that causes problems. And it's like, you don't want people to feel that kind of way. And so what happens is when you're insecure and whatever, all of a sudden you're going to latch onto like your clique or your gang or whatever. And all of a sudden you're going to be like, this is it. And everything else is trash because I don't got it.
I mean, it's like people are not satisfied. It happens in the tech world too. Just like the new iPhones getting ready to come out. Anytime a new cell phone come out, we in this generation. I don't think a lot of people are not satisfied. People are always constantly looking for the next thing to make them happy. That's why I was hoping people are like, "Oh, what's the next Switch 2 gonna be about?" Why don't you just enjoy what you got now? I don't see my 8-year-old nephew complaining about the next Switch. He actually happy. He suggested I get Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I go that game. I did just find Pokemon Sword at Goodwill for like $3, so I had to send him a picture. I mean.
Yeah, but you know what? Not to get like too philosophical here, but happiness comes from within. Happiness is not something you can't buy happiness. If you got unhappiness in your life, you got to sit down and have that introspective. I'm gonna look inside me. What is it that's making me unhappy? Am I unhappy with my career? Unhappy with my education? Unhappy with my romantic relationships, et cetera, right? And you got to say, if I am unhappy, what can I do to change this? And then spend that energy that you're spending on console wars and putting out into the universe is just static. Put that energy inside yourself and fix what needs to be fixed. And if you need professional help, go see a counselor. Go get, psychiatric help, all that kind of stuff. Do the things you need to do to be able to support your mental health and your physical well-being so you can achieve the goals that you want in life. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. That's coming from a doctor.
That's somewhat true. But, sometimes you can't buy happiness. Like when I got Tears of the Kingdom Collector's Edition, I took it out to lunch, sat it down in the chair. We had a nice conversation. Got coffee and stuff like that. So I had no clue what you're talking about.
Hey, look, bro.
Every rule.
Yo, Marcus, did you at least get to second base with it? I must know. Did you get to second base with that Tears of Kingdom?
Nah, man.
I got a third base. Trust me, I got third.
It's the seal's like a chastity belt.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
I love it. Love it.
I got tears.
That seemed appropriate for a Nintendo game too. So you're right. That seemed like something they would do.
I got tears on that one.
That's rated M for mature right there.
I didn't know what he was going with that. When he stuck the landing on that one, I said that was a good one. That was a good one.
Hey, but God. No, just to kind of piggyback on that, like if the audience don't know, like I went through a lot of stuff past few years, mental health and stuff like that. And I do therapy. Therapy does wonders. So I was highly recommended taking time.
Yes, sir.
So finding things that make you happy, like what I realized is collecting. And it was like I stopped doing YouTube and everything. But what brought me back, a lot of things just in general just brought me back to a place of happiness. It kind of started that road back to, being myself. Mm-hmm. I wasn't collecting, I wasn't playing, I wasn't watching, I wasn't doing nothing. Like I wasn't doing none of that. But when the Switch OLED came out, I wasn't even on social media. I just had like, oh, okay. And then I happened to find one, and like everybody else couldn't find it, and like that made me feel good. So it was like not because I spent the money, like I traded what I had. So it wasn't just like, but it was just a simple fact. It was like, it kind of brought that feel back, and I realized like, collecting and stuff like that, that's something that made me feel good. It's kind of like one of my pastimes, and it honestly is my happy place, going to benches and stuff like that, collecting, finding different things, like so sometimes it's not about the money, even if you trading stuff just to get something different wherever you decide you want to take your collection, but again, that comes from within you. So if PlayStation, Sega, whatever makes you happy, you start to do that, and it helps bring that happiness back out of you, then yeah, it can be beneficial. But
100%. And let me piggyback off that. So I just saw the comment from Deflex1 about like, doctors play video games, and I'm gonna tell you my little story about right at the beginning of the pandemic is when The Last of Us 2 and Ghost of Tsushima drops, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And I popped in The Last of Us 2 and I was like, whoa, this is too heavy. I'm not in the right place mentally or emotionally to deal with this, because we were getting our asses kicked. We had no idea what was going on. We saw the horror stories in Europe and how it was just burning a trail across the United States. And, and I was in charge of the entire emergency department, right? So I had not only myself to worry about, but all the other doctors and the nurses and the techs and everybody else. So there's a lot of stress, right? Yeah. So then I popped in Ghost of Tsushima because this is the time where it's like 100% isolation. Don't talk to people. Don't be anywhere near people, the whole entire thing. So I'm in this, apartment by myself, and I popped this game in, and all of a sudden I was transported to a different universe. It was a different time. I'm riding on my horse, I'm chasing foxes, I'm killing invaders in my country, that whole entire thing, and everything's like cinematic, beautiful, music, play control. I mean, it was an oasis that helped me survive the first, several months of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. And gaming can be therapeutic, man. I'm not gonna lie. Gaming can save your life. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I think all of us have games when we were going through a rough spot or a rough patch that always is gonna hold a special place near and dear to your heart, because you're like, this is the game that I dealt with X, Y, and Z, and it just got me through things and allowed me to, kind of like find my way. So, I think that gaming is a genuine art form. I think that art is what allows us a lot of times to be able to deal with the bullshit and stuff that we see in the world around us. So for me personally, that game saved my life because it allowed me to escape. And I was like running in fields and just like, you're transported there. You didn't feel like you were stuck in an 8x10, just kind of like, I have nowhere to go. I can't go out. I can't grab a drink. I can't see my friends. I can't do anything. Mm-hmm. All that stuff got pushed to the side because I was actually like running in this like huge island doing all these adventures and stuff like that. So I'm eternally grateful to Sucker Punch And PlayStation and that whole entire experience that was given to me, because it genuinely kept my sanity and allowed me to deal with the trauma and stuff that I was going through.
Hey,
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it, man. Great way.
I'm glad, because a lot of people had that experience. I think that I always say Animal Crossing.
Yes, sir.
That was my experience.
Animal Crossing. Mm-hmm.
It was. Every time I think about Animal Crossing, it was just gives me goosebumps and make me feel just good, because it was peaceful. The music, it was cute. Pause. It was good. I'm a man. It ain't cute.
Nah, man, it was cute. It was a precious game.
It was downright adorable. Come on now,
yeah.
bro.
It was adorable. It was great. The music. It was just like we was stuck in the house, and you didn't know what's going on. I had to get on the Switch and stuff and playing, and wow, you have those moments. You always have those gaming moments. You like another game I think about a long time ago is when my brother, he's like his own son, but when he was growing up, and I used to play Sonic 3, and he would sit there every time I turn on the Sega, he'll come over there and watch. He'll like, hey, I'm gonna play the game, and he'll stop what he's doing and run in the room and sit there and watch me play the game.
Yep.
And then I went to the bathroom one day, and he decided to pick up the controller and start to play. So I just watched, and I looked like I got the bathroom. I looked though he was sitting there just like trying to figure it out. And slowly but surely he figured it out, passed the level, and he was no more than like 5 or 6, And it was like, wow, all right. And then he fell in love with gaming. And that's what we bonded even more, because it was so funny. I remember one time, this is off story. I was going to a prom, and I had a girl, going to the prom with, and he pushed her out the chair because I made her this like steak dinner. He pushed her out the chair and got it to the plate and started eating the steak. And I was like, he didn't want nobody to take me away from him, because he didn't understand. Like, you can't do this. It was just so funny. And his son acted the same exact way. So it's so hilarious that well, if y'all saw on my channel, my nephew, that's my son, that's my brother's son, and he's, oh my goodness, he's gonna be natural, but he loves YouTube and loves gaming and all that kind of stuff, Minecraft, Roblox, all the games the kids like now, YouTube, Pokemon and all that kind of stuff. So it was just funny how gaming is like universal, but it goes in a circle, because like what is old is new, like Pokemon is still, look at Pokemon. Pokemon is going around and around. People still love Pokemon, no matter if you're like 45, 50, or if you're like 8 or you're like 18. Pokemon is universally loved, and people just love playing, from cards, from games, from mobile. It just everything. Pokemon is and you can't even. I guess I dare somebody try to make somebody fun of Pokemon. You can like, you must be an idiot.
No, man. It's like people trying to make fun of Mario. It's like, bro, come on, no, we're not doing that.
No, we're not doing it. Yeah, I did.
How dare you?
And that's another thing. Like when gaming was first started, like people used to make fun, like, you playing that old, that's gonna rot your brain. And years later, no, that's gonna save your brain, because gaming helps with mental health. As we all know,
helps with hand-eye coordination, and it helps with like memory loss, all that stuff. So there was literally a game. Y'all, I know you guys remember Brain Age. That game literally
Age. Oh my gosh,
that game literally improved functionalities of your brain. It was scientifically proven. It was helping out. It was helping out kids all the way to like people in their like late 70s and 80s. So they ain't no way you can't say these games help people, because.
Well, and the other cool thing is, and you just brought it up, was the hand-eye coordination thing. Like so. Surgeons, if you look at surgeons, if they grew up playing video games, they're better surgeons than people who didn't, because of that hand-eye coordination.
I can believe it.
And the funny thing is that now they do so much robot assisted. They do so much.
Oh yeah.
They do so much robot assisted surgery now that like it literally, like, you're using stuff like controller like layouts.
Oh, I've seen that.
And I mean, it's amazing. And I'm like, bro, this is the future. It's like, this is how it's going to be going. And I'm like, people are worried about AI and stuff. I'm like, don't be, because it's going to do this kind of stuff even better than it's being done right now. So
hey, they got video games like the old Jaguars. They use those in dental offices.
Yeah. They're painting them white.
Yeah, they painted them white. They got they do some kind of thing with the old Jaguar. So like, oh, here's another thing. the Xbox 360 Connect are used in hospitals. Xbox 360 Connect, I swear to God, is used in the Coca-Cola Museum in Atlanta. I went in and looked at stuff, and I looked at it. I'm like, oh my God, that's a Connect. I was like, I looked at the window. I said, they use the Connect. So also the Connect technology got sold off to somebody else because being just.
I believe I remember at one point there was this one video, I think it was a documentary. This gentleman, he was using, I think, like 10 or 15 PS3s as like a data server or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
They made a supercomputer. They made a supercomputer out of the PS3. That's back when the PS3 had the option for an alternate operating system, and you could put like Linux on there. And so once he had that operating system on there, he just started taking all these PS3s and made a supercomputer out of it. And that's when they were kind of like, oh shit, we probably don't need to let people do this. So it wasn't long after that they got rid of the ability to do that.
Hey Alex, do you remember that thing on the PS3? It was like some kind of like data collection or something.
Yeah.
What was that thing called?
So basically what they did was they used the PlayStation Network for folks to be able to, like, if you had your PlayStation on but you weren't playing a game, it would do like 3D modeling of like proteins and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so you would sign up.
Yes.
So you would sign up for different like proteins that you needed to do all the computations to be able to show what the protein looks like. And so you were doing something good by letting your PlayStation just be idle and on doing those calculations in the background. Honestly, I wish they would bring stuff like that back. I mean, the PlayStation 5, I'd leave it on all the time for shit like that. I would have no problems with it.
Well, we got quick resume, so that's a godsend. That quick resume.
I would say another great game that I came across recently that kind of will take your mind somewhere else and help you explore. And I actually tried it on the PC with the whole simulation device, Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
I brought my kids down because I put it on the Series X, and I was flying like around like the area, and they were able, that's the school, like, and they were just blown away. Just the
I did the same thing.
It's incredible. Like I was just like, I was like, I gotta get a flight set up. My buddy,
you gotta get one of those.
The flight stick,
whole thing. He's got the rudders, everything, and
rubbers, balls, what?
Rudders.
Rubbers. Okay.
He said,
"Look at you, dirty-minded."
I thought he said rubbers, balls.
But no, like that. Honestly, that game is really, really amazing. Just to be able to do stuff like that and do like real-time actual flights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like a lot of the information you can have it in real time too. Real time weather.
Such a good game.
That game, I think they're actually licensed pilots that actually use that as like training simulation stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Big time.
Flight Simulator is like not your typical game, but man, if you like, you can have all the settings and stuff where it's like, time of day, where you're flying and stuff. You want something that'll cause you to just kind of zone out and chill. Man, that game really has it.
Yeah.
Oh, I want Megan talk about this because he brought this up. We talk about it. So, but it is pretty cool though, because this week, was it this week or last week? Well, in the following
it was this week. Yeah, it was this week.
Okay. It's been so much going on this week. Xbox says they're closing down the Xbox 360 marketplace. Now, it's not as bad as the PlayStation 3 because Microsoft has always been really good of keeping the storefront and digital games up to date. If you have a 360, you still can download all your games. I just re-hooked up my 360. I downloaded. I still got Turtles in Time Reshelled, and I still got that game. And I just download again, but you can't play it online. You can play through the whole game. It's really great. Once it's inside of your list that you can download stuff again, you're gonna have it forever. So Xbox is really good about that. But Phil Spencer was like, he said he's trying to like find better ways to like keep up with delisted games or re-downloading games. What was the whole thing about Megan?
Yeah, because he was mentioning this in, I guess, one of his earning calls or whatever deals they had going on. Because basically when this news got out, of course, people like us were saying, oh yeah, it kind of sucks, but it's been almost 20 years because everything has to end eventually. What about the games that we spent our hard-earned money on, things of that nature? Mm-hmm. So when tasked with the question, what will they be doing in order to like move on and just have a lot of their stuff archived just for future references? Yeah, for the most part, everything that's on the 360 store you can pretty much buy right now, like the Xbox One store or the Xbox Series. All that stuff is still accessible because Xbox has been really good with just their preservation, at least on their front, with a lot of their older legacy titles. So yeah, I think what he's going to do, and this is just my personal opinion, I think he's going to make it to where how PlayStation has like their service to where you can download like certain PS2 games, stuff like that. I think he might try to end up going back and getting a lot of those licenses that expired for games that you can't buy right now, and then add them to the store so you can play like the Def Jam games. I know that's going through licensing hell because all the like music ties and stuff like that, the likenesses of characters. I think he might actually put up a front to where he can just go back and get a lot of the older license and put those on something like Game Pass. And I actually, now I think about it, yeah, like this will be a great opportunity for them to add stuff like that to Game Pass. Like, can you imagine they just added, just for whatever reason, they decided to add the entire original Xbox category to the Game Pass?
You mean every Xbox game?
Everyone they have access to the license to, every single one.
That would be crazy. A lot of collectors would be mad. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of collectors who value their collection is a cash cow will be mad. Not collectors just collecting just for the sake of collecting, because like getting a lot of original Xbox games. But another thing, guys, if you're looking on the podcast, if you're listening on the podcast or you're listening on YouTube, look at me right now. Collect original Xbox 360 games. Ones that says only on Xbox. Get those right now. I don't know what the future may hold. Xbox is good about keeping their stuff, but you just don't know. And the 7th generation is almost gone. PlayStation 3 is up. I think they'll be next to like say next Xbox.
Oh, they will.
6-7 months.
Shoot, they're probably gonna go. They're already almost to that point because they got stuff like Ratchet and Clank trilogy collection thing. This is like $80 now. So they're almost to that point now.
And one of us say Manchester fans say, can you say hi to me? What's up, Manchester fans?
What's going on,
What's
Manchester?
Up on the podcast? Everybody put a big hi to Manchester fans.
Man United.
RS Deku from My Hero says Manchester smash. So go ahead and hit that smash.
Hey, I'm
pause.
Hey, I'm be watching stuff from the UK this week. AEW All In. I know gonna be a lot of Manchester United fans watching that. I'm definitely gonna be watching that.
Yeah, gotta love some Man U.
But
they kind of. Let's be honest though, they kind of ran that soccer club into the ground. So, no offense to.
They like the Dallas Cowboys of the soccer.
They used to be like amazing, like in the Premier League and all that stuff. They're just amazing, and then I don't know what happened. Bad management.
Hey, but like I said, they're the Dallas Cowboys of soccer. Football. I'm sorry. There you go. There we go. Dallas Cowboys.
Although you want to know a quick little trivia fact, the word soccer was invented in the UK, so technically it's an older name to the game than football.
Well, ain't that some stuff?
Oh, by the way, we forgot to talk about something. This
is
really important. We forgot to talk about the new Atari.
Oh yeah,
that plays the original cartridges.
Let's talk about this.
Looking into
Atari,
that, yeah.
Atari is taking up the mantle. I think it's $149.
No, $129. $129.
Yeah. Atari, or was it Atari 2600 Plus?
And 7800.
And it's gonna. Somebody say, "Hey," it said football.
Football. I'm playing some football.
Or in German, it's Fußball.
Oh, Fußball. Gone. Yeah.
Jawohl, ist wunderbar. Sorry.
So wonderful. Guten Tag. Let me stop. I'm probably offending somebody. I apologize.
No, we're gonna get all German hate mail, man.
Some of y'all do be sound like that. This shit is funny.
Somebody told me on my YouTube, like, you a country. I said, I'm from the South. Like, yeah, I'm country. But yeah, here's the Atari 2600. Look at this.
I mean, not gonna lie,
I kind of want to get it.
Really good.
Yeah,
it looks amazing.
I do want to kind of get it.
Yeah, I appreciate how it has the original aesthetics as the first Atari 2600. So yeah, I'm digging it.
Look at this joint, but
it's got the analog switches. You see all that? Like I'm like, bro, it's like honestly, because what was it the other Atari system that came out that was supposed to be like a
BCS?
Yeah, BCS? And like it completely flopped. Yeah, that completely flopped. But this is actually pretty swank.
This is I remember going to my friend's house. This is actually one of the first real consoles that I actually played. My homeboy had this and he had a whole bunch of games. I thought dude was just rich. We were playing all these games back in the day in the 80s. Like, boy, this was like
man, Pitfall and like River Raid, all that stuff.
Look at this.
OG right here.
It looks good. I really think this is I'm happy for Atari fans. I might go ahead and just purchase. It's not that much, Look, it's
130, man. It's cheaper than a PlayStation Portal.
Honestly, you get more bang for your buck too. A better value, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Like this is something because it's like now the reason why this is interesting is not just because they've got a revitalized system that can play the original cartridges. This actually can be a game changer in terms of collecting, because now do you actually need to have the original hardware to play the original games? And the answer is no, right? Like you're not doing it through emulation. It's an actual
HDMI ready.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine, and we had this conversation, but imagine if Nintendo came out and said, we're bringing back the Super Nintendo, and you could take your old school Super Nintendo cartridges and throw them, or Nintendo 64 or whatever. Now, Nintendo is taking the strategy of emulation, but bro, it's like if I had a genuine, certified Nintendo seal of quality device that I can put my Nintendo cartridges in and play them on my TV via HDMI and all that stuff. I mean, come on, who wouldn't buy that? I would buy that.
Hey,
would you guys buy that?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but Nintendo, that stuff be super limited.
I'll make like 100 of those and call it a day.
Systems, they did the mini systems, but they were running ROMs, right? Like, and I'm like, okay, fine, kind of cool. But this is a game changer because you can actually put the original cartridges into the thing and run. And I'm like, that's impressive, bro. And
PlayStation did that. If PlayStation brought the PS1 back out, or a PS2. If they brought the PS2 because they can play PS1 and PS2 games, if they did that, oh my god,
hell, even the PS3, the 60 gig, right? You remember when that came out? It had the PlayStation 2 giblets inside it, plus the brand new PlayStation 3. So it's like that whole system. But
giblets.
I mean, giblets and gravy. Come on, man. You're from the South. You know what's up.
Giblets. That sounds so nasty. But anyway.
The giblet sauce.
But if you had that, like, screw the whole entire backwards compatibility thing. Give me that for $199 instead of the dumb PlayStation Portal. And all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? I dropped $200 on that without even thinking twice.
Y'all stupid.
That's fucking dumb PlayStation Portal.
Y'all are clowns tonight. Oh, y'all are clowning. You know what though? Seriously, this would be so freaking sweet. If PlayStation or Nintendo, like say Nintendo brought a Super Nintendo, like you said, or like a PlayStation brought out a PS2 and they brought out just what Atari doing, that would sell. That will flip collecting. Like retro, you talking about retro collecting?
Oh man,
now?
Yeah, it would.
You talking about retro collecting popular now? Oh my people! Hey, PlayStation, if you're listening, bring out a PS2 HDMI, just like Atari 2600 Plus doing. Just do that. Play PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, and use original memory cards, please.
Oh, you know,
they can make new memory cards. Just think if they actually started. What if they started burning brand new copies of games, right? Like, so Final Fantasy VII, you could get the multi-disc set, but in a new packaging, new everything else, designed specifically, and it would run on the original. If you had PlayStation 1, you could take Final Fantasy VII being reprinted, putting it into the original PlayStation 1 or into this new system. I mean, absolutely, people would go apeshit with this stuff.
You know what will sweeten that deal even more? Just hypothetically, because you know how like the Series X, it'll up res or even like increase the frame rates of original Xbox games, 360 games. Man. Imagine that, but doing the same thing with like PS1, PS2 games. That's a wrap. That's
how
all, like,
absolutely.
all you gotta do is just tell them, but if you have the original disc or whatever, it will increase frame rate and resolution. That's a wrap. That's a done deal.
But Alex, I spoke on that before. I was watching. I can't remember who it was. I think it was Gaming Off the Grid. They were talking about video game preservation.
Yeah, shout out Gaming Off the Grid. I'm like the glass right now.
Yeah, shout out to them. They were talking about video game preservation. And I commented on the video. I was saying, if the gaming community were to bring awareness to these big companies about the resale market, just like you were saying, reburning games. I was just like, if they just came out with another print of some of these games, the higher dollar games, because at the end of the day, right, as collectors, unless you're straight up reselling, you're in it for the money. But if you're a collector, imagine if they did reprints of some of these games, Earthbound, Play Fighters, and things like that. You can just, you could buy a fresh copy for $60. Shit, charge me $70. I wouldn't care. That beats, stadium events. You get that for regular price. Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, outside of if you're trying to make money, the collectors want it. Especially if you're going for like complete sets. Like, I feel like if they actually knew like the market for it, I think it may be an opportunity, but it's kind of hard to say, with stuff like that.
Yeah, I was actually about to mention that. So Steve had done his video for the Battletoads Double Dragon game.
And I got it right here. Look.
Yep.
Right here. Look, a fresh new copy. But this right here, this collector's edition is limited. I don't know if they're gonna make more. From the first one on the NES, they did make more, but this right here, it plays the same. I put it on the Super NT. It plays on Super NT. Play on Super Nintendo. So you got two ways to play. Yeah, this is a great game. And look at this. This is a new game in 2020. A Super Nintendo game in 2023. It's still great.
And you know what I would do though? I would upmarket and upscale this. I would make that, like, if I was gonna re-release the PlayStation 2. I would completely chrome it out, like make it something special. So when people see it, it's just like, damn.
Keep it
no. I mean, keep it tasteful, but just make sure it's premium. Like when people, like if you walk into it, you're like, oh damn.
No, just keep it original. Keep it original.
No. You gotta do something a little bit. I'm not saying go so far away from the original design, but just
maybe like a badge or something.
It's like it's like just make it out of a different material or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like instead of using like plastic or something, like maybe do.
That's what works. Because look at all the mini systems that came out. The TurboGrafx 16, which is undersold, but it's still hard to get now. It's all of them kept the same design. Now with the PS2, they did have a lot of special systems. Like in Japan, they has those automotive colors, like the blue, yellow, red. Now if you he got TurboGrafx.
Yeah, there you go.
If you give us something like that, and limit those would be nice. But if you get it ain't no way you can get a PS2 or even PS2 Slim in 2023. Oh my goodness. And people still buy PS2s for like $80 to $100 now. So just imagine a new PS2 with HDMI support, HDMI 2.1 support that plays PlayStation 1 and 2 games. Come on. That thing would feel like hotcakes.
That Atari, I know it's got an HDMI and all that stuff. I want to see what the image processing looks like, because a lot of these games have to be played at a certain frequency or a certain resolution or certain aspect ratio. Otherwise, the game's unplayable, right?
Look what Roman Dan said. I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but look.
Oh no, you're good.
Palette Mega already doing that to PS1. Yes, but Palette Mega is not mass produced, and you have to be in the know like collectors to actually get it. If you give somebody a Palette Mega, like say we always do like the mom test. If you put a PS2 in a Palette Mega, they do the same thing. I know that's a PlayStation. She gonna buy that. She ain't gonna buy no Palette Mega. Just like the Super NT and all that kind of stuff. They're not gonna buy that. They have to be really educated. Like the Super Nintendo Mini or the Nintendo Mini. Those things flew out because every parent called a game to Nintendo. They knew what it was, yes. Like Atari, I think this Atari thing is going to sell to a lot of people, because if they see that sitting at Best Buy and it's not the games and they see like a display playing it, They might got a whole bunch of Atari cartridges in their garage or something. They go, "Oh, this play my old stuff on a new TV."
Atari got a huge fan base too.
Yeah, dude. Atari got a
really big fan base.
Well, it's interesting, right? Later, because the CEO of Atari currently, like, only recently came in, and I think it was like right around the time that the VCS was like flopping or whatever. And that person, I can't remember their name, but apparently they're really big into like the whole like they get gaming, right? So this product must be the first product that person was able to kind of say, hey, look, this is what we should be doing. And I agree. I mean, conceptually, great price point, and it allows collectors to be able to play their collections of games without doing anything. You don't have to find a ROM. You don't have to find an emulator. You just take the cartridge and stick it into the thing, and you're good. And I'm like, that's brilliant. It really is. I just wish that they had more money in terms of marketing to really kind of push it, because I think this is going to be a sleeper hit. I think that once it comes out, if the performance is good and it looks good on a TV,
I do too.
So by Christmas it'll be sold out, and then people will be like, hawking them on eBay for 2 or 3 times the price.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a sleeper hit. I think I'm just gonna pick up one just for collection wise. I just sold so many Atari cartridges, half price crooks, like 500 of them. I think I got like $100, but also too, I sold some to like John Hancock too, because he did a lot of his cartridges. He did ROM hacks and all that kind of stuff. I'm really happy for this. I'm not an Atari fan, but I am so happy for like Atari fans and fans of stuff like this, that they got something new, because those act games and all these they did not work well. Atari said, you know what? They was like Thanos. He said, fine, I'll do it myself. And they go do it themselves. And I really hope this thing sells. I hope it just like goes like Nintendo level sales, because if this thing sells, other companies will be like, God dang, I think we need to bring our stuff back out. Just think, like, Alex, that would be so sweet. You saw a Nintendo with an HDMI and music, or a Super Nintendo, or even like a 64. Everybody dying for a new 64.
You want me to throw you a curveball? Come back with the Virtual Boy, but do an actual good VR headset and have an entire line of like, Mario and all that stuff, like VR games, but take the old school VR games and reimagine them for that new headset.
Hey, Virtual Boy 2. That'd be so.
Dude,
and then, you can actually turn it to the red or new color.
Yeah, exactly. Like just in-game menu. That would be sick.
Oh man, like, can you imagine them making a X-Men Cyclops game with just the red vision? Boy, that would.
That would be
that's all you see. It's like you get to live.
You just keep hearing them say optic blast.
Yeah, you get to live. You get to live the life. You get to live the daily life of the X-Men leader Cyclops. This is how he sees everyday life.
So who the final boss will be? Wolverine got to fight over Jean Grey.
Ooh.
It might be
Jean Grey. Hey.
Wolverine, get off my girl.
It's all in first person.
I still want to see. I still want to see Wolverine take out Cyclops. I want Wolverine to just gut that dude. I hate that man.
You don't like Cyclops like that?
I mean, no. Don't get me wrong. Like in the games and stuff, like Capcom or Marvel vs. Capcom, all that stuff. Yeah, I mean the comic book character, cartoon, the whole entire thing, great. Which, by the way, let's segue into that. The rebirth of the '90s version of X-Men is coming. Back.
When is it going to?
And I'm just like, yes.
What day is X-Men? Was X-Men 97? When is that coming out?
Supposed to be later this year, right?
Release date, but man, I hope they keep the original theme music, because that stuff was dope as hell. You remember when that theme music, you were like jumping over the couch to be able to get there and see the entire montage.
They don't have a firm release date, so it says 2024.
Oh.
Because you know what? Hey, Wolverine and the X-Men was really good, but they only did 2 seasons. They left off the cliffhanger, and I was so upset. I was like, you mother suckers. How you gonna leave?
But hey, Wolverine coming out on the PlayStation 5, bruh. It's like, if it's, I'm just like, first of all, it's got to be gory as hell. I mean, you got to be able to slice and dice people. If I can't do that, that game is dead to me. But I have a feeling that, it's Naughty Dog. No, it's Naughty Dog, right? It's Naughty Dog that's making it?
No, it's Insomniac.
Insomniac. Sorry. The Hop 2 Studios within the thing, I always get them, mixed up. But anyway, Insomniac is making it. I think this game, like, if they stick true to the thing, just being able to just like snick it and just like guts flying everywhere. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
So pretty much make an old man Logan game. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you know what, y'all? We really just starting to hit. This is the year we actually starting to see PS5 games. You know, it started with God of War, but they still had a PS4 version. But I think it really starts with Spider-Man 2.
Yeah,
because Spider-Man 2, because it's not a PS4 release, they put everything in it. It's gonna be twice as big, twice as long. I mean, pause.
I mean, you're getting triple teamed, right? You got Miles, you got Peter, and you got Venom. I'm like, hell yeah!
And I do think, I'm telling you, I think Harry is gonna be Venom.
I think he's gonna be Venom too.
I think Harry's gonna turn to Venom unless they do some kind of wild stuff. Because
Craven is gonna be Venom.
No, come on, no.
I mean, isn't that the dude that's at the beginning of the teaser trailer where he's hunting the dude down? Isn't that Craven?
That's Craven, yeah, but also
and Craven has been Venom before, right?
No,
I don't think he has.
Yeah, he has. Look it up, pull it up, Google it right quick. Has Craven ever been Venom?
That's a dangerous combination if Craven becomes Venom.
That's what I'm saying. It's like he's already the ultimate evil version of Venom. Like this is like the one that's like, oh damn,
he's already the perfect hunter. You're gonna give him like the one of the perfect symbiotes too.
Symbiote suit. Yeah.
Hold on.
Has Craven ever been Venom? I'm looking it up. Has Craven ever been Venom? He said the version of this character first appears in 2019 Spider-Man's Life Story 3, where a version of Craven dying from a cancer bonds with the symbiote. Oh, well, you know what?
Boom. Boom.
I mean,
so what's up?
Boom. I don't know. Hey, but this is a different universe, so you never know.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying, it's like it's not impossible because it's happened before in the past. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I mean, honestly, that would make that Venom just one hell of a Venom. Not gonna lie. My biggest question is, are you going to be able to play as Venom? Not Spider-Man in the black suit, but actually play as Venom.
I won't lie, like being able to play Venom, I find that much more appealing than ever.
Don't start.
Spider-Man.
Do not start, Votary. Do not start. This is gonna be the joke. This is probably gonna be the joke on the podcast. Go on, show it, Votary. Go on, do it. Go on, do it. Go on, do the pose. Go on, do the pose. You gotta do the pose.
Game cover artwork ever.
Go on, do the pose. Go on, do the pose.
That's Black Ranger pose.
Well, I can imagine him on the trampoline doing that. All right, we need to get like 2 more takes. The first 3 didn't do well. We need to do more.
Jumping in the air doing this.
Yep.
Like he's Super Saiyan. Like I'm gonna go. Call me. Oh boy, that's funny. You know what, man? I really do kind of like how they gave us a little tease what's going to be on Spider-Man 2, but they haven't said. They said the game is even more than we're going to imagine. And what that first trailer came out, that water fight and Peter going kind of like a little crazy with the symbiote. Whoo, boy.
Yep. Oh it's spicy. It's spicy.
It is. And the people are so mad. Well, this is another thing too. Guys, when y'all see first previews of the games, shut up. All right, shut up. This really seriously. Shut up, because they know what they're doing. It happens all the time. Remember when the Mario movie, everybody freaking out. Shut up. It's just doing.
Especially Sonic. Sonic got it the worst.
Oh yeah, Sonic's so bad. Yeah. But you know what?
Yeah, but you know what? Sonic, let's be honest.
Sonic
they made a change for Sonic for the better. Let's be honest.
They did. But you know what though? I really do think they put that out to see how people was going to act.
Yeah, I mean, I guess feel how the movie was going to be.
But you know,
that was like an epidemic, man. Like that took over the internet for a little bit.
Hey,
everybody was like, "Nah."
That Sonic is in the Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers movie.
Yep, the Ugly Sonic.
Yeah, Ugly Sonic.
That was funny.
It was so funny. I said Ugly Sonic.
They did a good job with that.
Hey, and then he was in the comic cut like Sonic, Ugly Sonic. I'm like, oh man,
they kept focusing on his monster mouth. They like,
yep, exactly.
Hey, that Chip and Dale's Rescue Ranger, that movie was good.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that is this generation's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's what that is.
Yeah, it was. It was. They did a really good job. I like, man, this is actually a fun movie. Well, guys, y'all, man, this has been fun, y'all. We had talked about a lot of good stuff. This podcast, I'm trying to start getting these podcasts under 2 hours. You know, I don't want Megan to die and stuff. But hey, guys, Megan,
don't at me.
Don't at you.
He's like, "What you talking about? I got 16 minutes."
I was like, if y'all want to, we can do that one thing we was talking about in the message.
Oh yeah,
about
do the thing.
That's
if y'all want to say that.
No, do it.
We'll save for next week. We'll save for next week.
Oh,
yeah, we'll save for next week. But guys, thank y'all for coming out. Everybody tell you where to follow Gamer MD. Tell everybody where they find you.
I'm easy to find. I'm on Twitter, GamerMD, or you could just look me up as @AlexanderTyler. I'm still in development on a YouTube channel. I promise you it will be here at some point, but I'm not ready yet.
Whenever he sells his games, that's when he's gonna start a YouTube. So
look at this guy.
So to be determined should be on it. Gotcha.
That's right.
That is correct. In fact, that may be the name of the show, To Be Determined.
Hey, that'd be good, man. That'd be good. Put a new spin on it.
And Video Game Rotary, where can they find you, brother? And also about your new podcast too.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to film the next episode of the Legend of Nintendo podcast probably this weekend. I gotta get that worked out. My schedule. Kids about to go back to school, so I really gotta try to put everything in some kind of order, but be on the lookout for that. That's on all podcast platforms. Make sure you go follow and subscribe.
Sign up, guys. The Legend of Nintendo podcast.
Yep. Also, you can find me on all social media platforms at Video Game Voter.
It's right here, y'all. Look, the Legend of Nintendo podcast right here on my
phone. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Make sure y'all listen to it. I love the name. I was like, God dang, dude.
That's a really good
Nintendo
name.
will come knocking down your door, but he'll go with a massive sword. Yeah, go over his
They might have some mushrooms on you. Like, you trying to get high?
Hell yeah.
Like Cali.
Hey, Megan.
They gonna say, "Hey, Omega at my door with the Link costume on."
I know, right?
Hey, I need to break that back out, man. Hey, look, I need to break that back out.
Hey,
that would be a good riff on only built for Cuban links. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but you have a little link got, with the chains.
That would be fire.
Hey, say that for our Halloween our Halloween episode. We need to do something Halloween. You need to say that for our Halloween episode.
Well, I got 3 outfits, so the 2 you already saw. I'll say the third one. I'll say the third one for the podcast. I'll say that.
Yeah, say the third. Yeah. We gotta do a Halloween episode. We all dress up because it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'll have a costume.
Yeah,
of course you would. Of course you would. They won't be able to see you. Like,
no, you'll be able to see the costume. I promise.
You need the costume. Won't be saying you.
That's good.
And Megan, where can we find you at, man?
Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Got some Armor Core videos coming out by Monday as soon as I get the footage. And the next skit. For anybody who's a fan of Madden 2K or Call of Duty, and I got some coming for y'all. So that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Is it gonna be?
Hey, look, some people might be offended by it. Some people may be up. Hey, look, it is what it is, man. It's
gonna be. It's gonna be straight black.
It might be. I ain't gonna.
Red for the blackness.
It might be, but
it's gonna be straight 100% black. I can't wait. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Right Way podcast. We'll be back next Friday. This podcast will be airing. Make sure you get 5 stars on YouTube, on everywhere. Just give it 5 stars. Like, share, and subscribe, and always remember to do it the right way.